Hey campers, I figured I would do a real quick video on tires, on the difference between Plies, ST tire, LT tires, my pre-trip checklist that I do on tires, which is very short, and just general information on where you can get things for your tires, like replacements, when you need to replace them, and when you should replace them, because it's probably not when you think. So right off the bat, I'm going to go into ply. You'll often hear people say you need like 8 or 10 ply. Ply is a little outdated. So ply used to refer to when we used cotton in tires, and each layer of cotton was a ply. Ply is now, most tires are now basically 2 or 3 layers, and if you have like a 10 ply, that'll be a 4 layer tire ish on average, not necessarily the truth across the board. Uh, Ply now more or less refers to the load range of a tire. So a lot of people in throwing community say like you need a 10 ply tire. I agree, the more ply the better. But an 8 ply tire may work for you depending on your truck, your trailer. Everything's different, like from different size of truck to different size of trailer. So there's no one single answer. But if you're towing heavy, 10 ply for sure. And if you ever need to know about load range, when you're replacing tires, make sure you tell your tire specialist what you tow. Don't give them the dry weight. That is the most useless term in the RV industry. You will never tow your trailer dry. Some manufacturers don't even include propane tanks empty in their dry weight. Always go off your gross vehicle weight rating. That is the heaviest your trailer can weigh, unless you scale it, and like you are pretty much always at X weight. Bug. Okay, so that's why LT and ST tires. LT tire is light truck tire. If you go with a light truck tire, it's gonna roll down the highway a lot smoother, and it's gonna have a much higher speed rating on average. Actually, not on average, pretty much guaranteed. If you have an ST tire or a special trailer tire, you're going to have reinforced sidewalls. Your trade-off to that is it's not going to roll down the road as smooth. Also, you cannot pull it as fast. The advantage to an ST tire to me is when you're cornering. If you ever look at how tires flex on a trailer when they are cornering into a campground, like when you're backing up is the best time to see it. It can be pretty dramatic, for lack of a better word. So what can happen on those STs, that sidewall can withstand that. On an LT, what can happen is your tire can roll underneath your rim, and you can have some issues because of that. Again, if you go to an LT tire with a high enough load rating, I don't think that'll be an issue. And myself personally, I've never seen it in our group, and I've never seen it in any other group that I'm a part of, like the LT tire rolling under. But it just comes down to personal preference. It's make sure you have a tire with a high enough load rating for the load you are carrying at its heaviest gross vehicle weight. I'm going to show you where that is. Oh, and also speed rating. So ST tires typically have 3 speed ratings. I think it's like 96 or 98 kilometers per hour. The next one's in around that 108, 109, and the third one's kind of 120. If you exceed your tire speed rating, one of the things you're going to find is your tires will heat up, and they will not be able to disperse that heat, which will lead to some premature wear on your tire. But a lot of people in short bursts will go above that speed. My old tires, I got 5 years out of them, which is about the longest you're going to get out of them. I'm racing a thunderstorm here, guys. So those ones I got 5 years out of them, and I routinely pulled them at about 8 or 9K above the limits, because that's where my truck was happy towing. If I towed at the speed limit of like their speed limit of 96 or 98, I wasn't in the power band, and you don't want to be under your power band when you're towing. You want to be in the power when you're towing at all times. So I always towed a little bit faster than I needed to, or than what they were rated, but they held up 5 years. I saw a lot of tread. My issue was more UV breakdown. So I'm going to flip you guys around right away, and I'm going to show you where to find your tire information chart on your camper. Okay, so this is passenger side of my camper. I think everybody knows that I refer to everything as passenger side, driver side when I'm dealing with my RV. Keeps everything nice and simple. So you're going to come over to your driver side, and somewhere along the front of the driver side is your tire information chart. It's going to give you your front, rear, and spare tire dimensions, load range, and inflation rate. I'm going to say don't necessarily follow this if you've changed your tires out, okay? And I'll go over that in a second. So all my tires are 205, 75, 14 load range C. That C is load range, the R is rim size. I have a 14-inch rim, load range C. That is the tire that I need on this. You could, in theory, increase your load range, and if you increase your load range, that PSI is going to change. So you can get a 205 75 14-inch tire with a higher load range, and your PSI would change. That's why you shouldn't necessarily follow this. And if you decide to go to light truck tire, you should not follow that. You should follow the truck tires cold inflation PSI rating. The other thing you're going to find on this is your weight and everything, right? Your information on your trailer. So it's going to give you your payload, your gross vehicle weight. It's also going to give you your tires stuff. So as we can see, my trailer, its gross vehicle weight rating, the heaviest I can be is 7,780 pounds. Okay, I have my axle rating, weight ratings, I have my tires, and yeah, my cold inflation rating for my tires, and then it also goes over water. I think it's got my payload tier too. I think I'm like 5,900 pounds dry. I never look at that because I don't care about that number. But yeah, so this is all the information you're gonna need. So if you're looking to buy new tires, I kind of recommend staying in that. You can increase your load range if you want. There's no harm in that. Never decrease load range for obvious safety reasons. So yeah, that's kind of all you need to know there. Now we're gonna go to the tires, and this is gonna be my pre-checklist, and my pre-checklist is on all 4 tires, and it is very, very fast. It takes me about 2 minutes to check all of my tires. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for weather cracking on my tires. You can see I don't have any. These are my brand new tires. I went with Westlake's. They are quote unquote China bombs. I'll go over that in a minute as well. So there's no cracking. What will happen if you do not cover your tires is in roughly 5 years you will start getting weather cracking on your tires, commonly referred to as dry rot. That is from the sun's UV rays breaking down the rubber compound in your tire. So you might have a lot of tread left, but you're going to have those cracks, which means you will need to replace your tire, because at that point heat is your enemy, and these things are always creating heat while you're towing. So you're going to look for that. You're also going to look for them in your tread as well. Again, I got brand new tires, so I don't have to worry about that. The next thing I'm looking for is uneven wear on my tires. My old tires, on the inside here, I had uneven wear on them. I know exactly when I did it. I was going up to Meadow Lake Provincial Park. I was on Highway 27 north of Loon Lake. Worst highway I've ever been on. It was about 60k, and there was times where I thought my trailer was going to come off the hitch type thing. It was brutal. But yeah, so you're going to look for that even wear. If you have uneven wear, then you have some issues that you're going to want to take a look at. Could be something from your bearings to something else, but you're just going to look for that. And if you do see uneven wear, you want to monitor it, and that's kind of what I did all last year. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check my PSI on my tires, but let's talk about some information you can get off the side of your tire. So right off the bat, you'll see this number here, that 0221. That means these tires, or this particular tire, was built the second week of 2021. Load range, so it's going to tell you the max load for your tires. It's also going to tell you your cold PSI inflation rate. So I have to be at 50 PSI when I'm inflating these with the tire cold. The last thing you want to look for is your speed rating. Mine is unfortunately upside down here, but you can see I'm speed rating L, which means my tires can go 75 to 120 kilometers per hour. I will never tow these things at 120 kilometers per hour. It's just not going to happen. And as you can see, made in China. So all I'm going to do every time, every campground, I'm going to check my PSI on all 4 tires. I'm going to make sure it's at 50 PSI cold. And that's it. That's all I do. My tire pre-check is done. Now I'm going to go to China bombs quickly. So I'm going to flip you guys around again. So China bombs are tires made in China. They get a particularly bad rap. Here's some things with the tires. So everybody loves Goodyear Endurance. Those are made in Mexico. The Maxxis trailer tire, that gets a good rep. That's made in Thailand. Pretty much everything else is made in China. I don't know of any tire being made in the United States or in Canada anymore. There might be a Michelin option, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't looked into it that much. I don't necessarily believe in the China bomb theory. I'm going to tell you why. I could have got Goodyear Endurance on these on this trailer. Would have been $159 per tire. I could have gone, I think it was a Trailer King or something like that. When I was calling around pricing our tires, that tire was $89, made in China. These Westlakes, they were $119 or $129 per tire. So they were kind of in the middle between them. If I would have gone with those Trailer Kings, whatever that $89 brand tire was, I'm getting what I paid for. I'm getting a crap tire. I'm not getting a tire that is Goodyear, that's made as good as Goodyear. So it is likely that it is not going to last, right? I think another issue we see with tires is people not doing a pre-check. I think a lot of people tow before checking their PSI. I don't think a lot of people watch for weather cracking and like that dry rot that I was kind of talking about that happens with the UV rays from the sun breaking down your trailer. There's also people that tow too fast, like I mentioned that I did, right? So if you're consistently towing faster than that tire is designed for, and you do not have it at its proper inflation rate, it's going to explode. Like it'll fail. There's nothing about it. It's going to fail. Your tire, if it's underinflated, is not going to disperse heat properly. If you're exceeding the speed limit, it is not going to displace heat properly. Heat is always one of the enemies. So I tend to think that you can buy a tire made in China that is going to be a good, reliable, safe tire, or you can also buy one that's going to be garbage. It all depends on what you want to do. If you want to buy an $89 tire, when a premium tire in that same size and that same load range is on what, 70, 80 bucks more, you're getting what you pay for, and you can expect that thing is going to go boom. So I don't think that there's much to the China bomb thing. I think it's more people buying crap tires and getting what they pay for, and people also not taking the time to make sure they're doing inspections on their tires, not taking the time to make sure that their tire is at the correct inflation ratio. I travel with an air compressor. My kid is starting something in my garage. I travel with an air compressor so that if my tires happen to go low for whatever reason, I can pump them up in the campground. I can pump them up before I come home. I can pump them up on my driveway, obviously, before I leave. I think it's just kind of being prepared is better than just being like, oh, I got a low tire in the campground. Well, I got to drive 100 kilometers to the nearest gas station to put air in it. Well, 100 kilometers is 100 kilometers on a plus 35 day here in the summer. That's going to do a lot of damage to that tire. So I don't necessarily believe in the China bomb theory. I just believe that people are buying crap tires and then they're getting what they pay for and they're not taking the time to make sure that their tire is in safe operating condition. I think we probably have some debated points on the cold inflation rate on a tire. I base mine off of what the engineers, the tire make. They make the tire. They know the product better than you or I do. If you think differently, let me know in the comment section, and then try to provide like an article or some proof for it so everybody can kind of get as informed as possible, because I might not be right. Right, we know that. I'm also going to provide a link to tire ply, and why 10 ply is no longer like 10 ply. It's a load range thing, so that people can have a quick read over that. Everything else, when it comes down to like China bombs and all that, that's just my opinion, and what kind of tire you should use, whether it be an LT or ST. I prefer ST, as I said. That's my opinion. But if you want to go into LT and you get a tire that's got the appropriate loader range for your trailer, give her. You know what I mean? Like, it's you towing something that you have to be comfortable towing for your safety and for my safety on the road. So yeah, if you guys have questions, comments, whatever, let's have a talk in the comment section. This was 15 minutes, and I wanted it to be like a 5-minute video. Whoo, boy. I'm going camping tomorrow, so I'll see you guys in my next campsite. You guys have a safe time with your tires. Bye.